Alright, see you guys.
What's up, everybody? This is a cash game simulation we're gonna be having with Scott as the host. So let's get started. So it's 100 big blind button versus big blind. We're playing cash game. Let's go.
Alright, here we go. We're out of position, so we're gonna check our range. Villain checks behind. We now pick up a draw, not a great draw. So we're
King
gonna,
high,
we have showdown value and we have a draw.
it's not a great
I'm on-
draw.
Nope, I'm on team bet. Anybody else?
No, I'm just gonna check this hand.
Okay, we have check and bet. Who's deciding? One more vote.
I usually check in these two, because if I don't have anything, I mean, right? Don't you guys think mostly check?
Well,
No, I
but you
would
do
bet.
have.
I would bet like
Is it
jack
raise or live?
four.
I'm not betting without a heart.
Okay, team check
Right.
wins. And I'm on team bet 80, all by myself.
Sam's betting too, right?
No, I'm
No.
not betting this hand.
That
Like
was just
queen,
me.
queen four and jack four, I might bet, but
All right.
not king four.
So bet 30 is better than bet 80 and both are okay and check is the most preferred. He bets small. Just the
No, we're
straight
not.
draw.
We
here,
shouldn't.
I think we
I
fold.
don't think we
think we
should call
fold it.
here. I think you should
agree.
either fold or you check raise.
I'm on team fold.
I think you fold
Anybody
or
else?
you check raise.
No, I fold. I fold with the 3 hearts out there. I need a heart to check raise.
Yeah, I'm on fold.
All right, team fold wins. Never fold. Never fold. We have to barrel off a bunch of money into an ace two.
It doesn't fold. It like calls half the time, check raise half the time.
Half the time, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow, 100 big blinds, it actually checks back top and bottom, huh?
If it's gonna check, yeah, it's
I
like
think-
this. If you're gonna check back any of your 2 pairs, you check back top and bottom first.
In cash games?
I think in tournaments it may also be true, but yeah. It,
I
and
thought
the
we slow play top and bottom.
right, that's what I said. If you're
know.
gonna check back and if you're slow play anything, it's top, bottom.
Why is that? It just doesn't make any sense.
I know this one. I find it fascinating. So intuitively, you know that you should bet bottom, mid bottom, because that leaves them to have the top, so you can get called. You'd think you bet top bottom because top bottom is vulnerable to the middle pair, the middle card pairing, and then you're screwed, right? But that's why you check it back, because you bet top because top cooler's top bottom. And the reason is if the guy had top pair, he was calling your top bottom bet anyway, and now you've bloated the pot when you got screwed. Does that make sense? Because you can't get screwed with top 2. If the bottom, if
I
the bottom
guess
card
it
pair,
doesn't really make any, it doesn't really, like I wouldn't check back any value hands in this spot from the.
well, do you want to look at it and see what it does with the other 2 pairs? Let's do that
Nah,
because
that's fine. Just like
too late.
if I know the solver would check back top and bottom.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was the one who claimed that it bets the other one. So let's see if I'm right, because I could be just talking. But I found that reasoning, whether that's really why the solver does what it does, not for reasons. It does it because when you play a billion hands, that turned out to be what was right. But the logic that we're trying to put behind the solver's decisions, that's the one that makes sense to me for why you check back top bottom instead. All right. What are we doing with 993? This is not the flop. We're in the wrong world.
Was the new hand.
Yeah, it was the new hand. Yeah, it's the new hand. Okay, we're
You
moving
can
on.
go back if you want.
Okay, I go back by, oh, I go here. There we
Yeah,
go. Double click on that.
and then you
Open
can
intrude
select your
browser.
street if you want.
Oh, too late. I'll have to do it when I get there. Okay. Browser. Yeah, here we are. We're on this, we're on the, and we check. And now we want to see what he does. Strategy. This is the in position strategy. He mixes top, bottom. He bets top two more often. And when he has 8 deuce suited, which he doesn't, we don't know what he does. So there you go.
I'm out of here, guys. I'm gonna go to UPS.
Thanks a lot, James. See you
Hey,
Monday.
James.
again.
We'll talk to you Monday.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Peace out, man.
So the only nuttish slow plays are from top and bottom 2 pairs.
Yeah, yeah. And only when you want to protect your checking range. You don't have to slow play them, but if you're going to, that's the order in which you slow play them. In the same way as if you're going to slow play a set, you're going to slow play top set before middle set or bottom set. If you're going to slow play.
Yeah, I don't tend to slow play at all.
Yep, yep. Well, don't call it slow play, call it protect your checking range. Same thing. Nines. We have offsuit nines. We have all the offsuit nines. I think we can bet. I'm sure it's gonna check some, but I think there's some bets. Anybody against team bet?
I think offsuit variety, you could just bet it. I think you want to check back the ones with like door flush draw. You probably want to check.
Okay, Sam, you wanna check this? So you wanna check? You wanna check?
No,
this?
I wanna just bet it. I just want to bet
All right.
small here.
All right. 100% check. Oh, it didn't register. There we go. Bet. Good. There's some betting. I don't mind taking the more aggressive action as long as it's legal. Check, check. I'm still checking. I'm just giving up on this hand. Anybody doing something different? Guess not. Hey. Look at that. Do we want to bet small to try to get called by ace high? Or do we want to let him bluff? I think we want to let him bluff. All right. We're all me out on check call island. Oh. We had to bet. I guess because we could look at it and say that the only time he checks twice is when he has some value. He's not going to do that with, with his garbage. He's going to bet on the turn. GTO trainer has crashed. How can it crash when we have ace king suited? Let's see if it's to do this. Do we? Check this. No, that's not a donk board. Bet, size up. It's all me. Size up. Yep, although bet 30 is better. And
I
the
started,
calls,
I started playing.
that's fine.
Mm.
Alright, let's. We're only getting called by another ace. So I think we bet, I think this might be an overbet spot.
No, I
Yeah.
think you probably wanna get called. Wow, I think it's, I mean, you wanna check? Check, check, then you bet.
Check to, check
call.
to, check to lose
I
less.
think you wanna
to the
check
random-
back. I think you can check back and hope he bluffs. If you're not gonna get called by like pocket eights or sevens or something, I
That
think
range is gonna have a lot of ace highs in it, and he's gonna bet for value.
yeah, I think I'd check back here, honestly.
Has
Check
some
to-
like backdoor flush draws, like queen.
Cause like if you hit it, say you have like king nine, right? You're gonna bet, and I think you're gonna check now. So he can start
Yeah, sure.
bluffing and he's gonna value bet his aces, I think. Plus he could just have a five sometimes.
Yeah, you can have five sometimes and he's gotta be, and he's gotta be afraid of our fives.
I think I
Um,
would check.
Okay, alright, so I'm on, in game, in real life, I'm betting 260 here. In the sim, I'm gonna vote for bet 290, but we're gonna check because it's more interesting, because then we can have to respond to a bet. Let's see. It is bet, yep, it is over bet.
Okay, I mean, he checks 30%, so. it's
30% of the
30%.
time.
Yeah, it checks 30% of the time and like that, and I don't know, I don't think a six is gonna call the
I don't
390,
know.
but.
Probably not two bets, not when you
but I'm
bet,
fine with that.
probably not bet, probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
But
maybe
that's
since
okay.
you unblock spades, it's supposed to, I really don't know, but I mean, I'm not calling. What does he have to call with? Like, what pairs? That's what I'm trying to think,
you wanna go look?
what am I gonna get value from other than like some nines maybe and an ace? Like, I thought
Yeah.
he would be more inclined to value bet thin or bluff.
See, on this river. We wanna see with the ace, you wanna see how he responds to our bet of 390?
Check.
You wanna see how he responds to our check? Okay,
Oh, yeah, and our bet as well, yeah.
right.
Actually, actually, my question was to how he responds to our bet, but yeah, I'm gonna see how.
Okay, let's go back.
he
Okay, well,
check. So we check, he's gonna bet like half the time.
he bets all of his aces. The ones that have us crushed. And all the ones we beat. He has no fives.
So he's betting 10-8, 10-7, jack 7, jack 8, queen 7, queen 8, king 8, king.
Hey, he's
6.
he's doing a lot of bluff. This guy's doing a lot of bluffing. I don't think our people are doing as much, but we got 100% bluffs. From this range here. But the sixes all check behind.
King 9 is checking back, king 8 is bluffing some.
Yeah, the
Offsuit.
nines don't bet.
They don't bet, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Bet
so
only
the
the
nines don't
ace.
bet. But when we bet
Well,
instead,
fucking big blind his hand.
when we bet, let's see, I click on, the way I change this, oh, I click here. There we go. When we bet the 390. All his aces call. Nah, he folds some aces. We get calls from the best nines, the other nines fold. So, there you go. And when we bet. The more reasonable number. Still get, now we get calls from all the aces. And more of the nines. But we make less money. Okay. We have no offsuit sixes. And we have a few offsuit eights. I think we should check. We have a backdoor flush and 2 overs. I think this is a check. No disagreements? Check
I'm
it is.
sorry, I'm in my hand.
Okay,
here.
it's okay. Don't worry about it. There we go. It's more betting than checking, but we can check. Now he overbets and we have to fold.
Yeah, just fold.
And we fold to a better hand that we could have gotten to fold had we played it differently. Okay. And I don't think we want to raise here. I might be playing this too weak, but I think we want to call because I don't think we.
I think you can raise because you wrap around this, a 7-8 for sure. Not, this probably raises too, though, because you have a bunch of, he's gonna not have, like, he's got so much shit other than an ace. I think it's a good raise.
Okay,
You wrap around the
Alright.
6, you got the flush draw. It's a lower flush
could be a-
draw.
yeah, I think,
I think you can
let's
get a
raise
lot
it
of
and then. if
fold.
we
I
end
think
up-
you can get a lot of folds that just, and you're happy to win right away.
Yeah, okay. Raise 86.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's all you gotta do. Oh, it raises
Mm,
bigger.
Nope, when we raise, we need to raise bigger. We just
What if it
need, because
plays
we need
differently
to
in
get rid,
tournaments?
we need to get rid of him.
That's why,
Okay.
that's why I try not to study cash, because it could be different in tournaments and I don't know, and I don't want to confuse myself.
Alright,
Um,
we're gonna continue.
no, you still have
We-
equity. Yeah, I think you can still bet.
Yeah, we bet, and since we check raised small, I think we can bet small again. We're not trying to, we're not gonna get an ace to fold, so.
Well, he's got a lot of stuff besides aces. You
Yeah, I
might
know,
be
I
able
know.
to polarize the 3. I don't know. Probably not.
I wanna bet again. I just
Yeah, I
wanna
think
bet,
we're gonna bet, but probably small.
yeah, I'm bet small.
Oh, it's checking.
Nope,
Oh,
100% check. But if we bet, if we 100% check, we never get here.
Well, I don't know
Because
that
of
we
the-
want to go over pot with.
No,
We don't have the nuts, right? There's a pair
No,
on the
we wanna-
board, so there's full houses, there's better flushes. So yeah, 349 is probably good.
Yeah. Nope, bet small. Keep,
Yeah,
we're
we just
not
don't have the
targeting an
nuts.
ace. Yeah, but also we're not targeting an ace. We're targeting more than an ace. Alright, now let's look at this spot on the flop
Right, that makes
because
sense.
I wanna see which of the flush draws we do or don't check raise. Alright. We check. He bet small. And let's see what we've got here. And now we wanna look at when
Yeah,
we've got
all the
hearts.
low flushes here that wrap around the 6, right?
Yeah. Especially these ones that do more than wrap around the 6.
Yeah, they're really, they're the best.
These guys, those are the
Okay.
ones. Yeah,
They got gutters and,
5, 4, 5, 2, 4, 7 there. As we get up to the 9, 7 here, we do it less. The ace highs. Do it the least. Not the least, they're a little. King highs, not so much. Yeah. So we check call a lot of flushes, but our raises are the double, are with the straight draw or backdoor straight draw. Okay. And then on the turn. Then if we bet the right amount, let's do our raise to the right size. So we raise.
I don't want to say the ace high flop is irrelevant versus big blind, but it's the least irrelevant of all other positions probably. Button and cutoff, like they just have, their ranges are so wide, aces don't even phase me.
Okay. Even though right, they have so much more than just aces.
Yeah, they just got so much stuff.
Okay, so we raise 142 and he calls. And now here we are when we've bet that size and we get the 3 of spades. Anybody remember what the 3 was? And then I don't think it brought in the second one. And here we are. And we barrel.
Of course, I'm thinking about MTT ranges. What is the opening range? Like what percentage of hands does the button open 100 big blinds deep in cash?
Pocket is
Let me show you.
5? Is it 40? Like, I don't have no idea.
Mike, it's in the, I don't know the percentage. I know the hands, but it's in the 50% range.
So it's very similar to MTT.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, the big blind response is very different.
Much tighter, right?
Right, like we open,
There's no ace.
we open on the button, we open ace 4 with ace 3 offsuit sometimes. We open king 7. I'm sorry,
Can you
king
just
8.
open it? Can you click
queen nine.
pre-flop? Click pre-flop trade.
Yeah, show me how to do it. Oh, pre-flop tree building. There
And
we
then
go.
just open in, just click there. There you go. We can see it.
There it is. That's us.
So, yeah, I mean, it's very similar.
Yeah, that's real similar. Does anybody know what steps I take to see the equity graph of on this flop of the big blind versus the button? It is, you know, the one with the 2 lines that run across it. Does Louis, do you know how to get that?
What's the question? Close this.
Pio.
You have to close this.
Okay, close this.
And what do you want to see? Click
I
browser.
want to see the graph of equity of these 2
Click
on this flop. Click browser,
browser.
right?
And then you can,
And we'll go to the, right, this is what I want to see. Okay, so did it just do this or did you click it for me?
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, Louis must have clicked it. Like Louis clicking it for me. So it's range explorer and were we waiting for it to load? There it is. That's what I want. Okay, thank you. I want equity. So I just learned what these equity graphs mean, and I think they're super important. Let's go back to let's go back one step to the flop here. All right. I guess we have to go close this, go on the flop, go to range explorer. Here we go. So you want to know how the thing we always want to know is who has the range advantage and who has the nut advantage, right? Down here, this is the 2 hands graphed against each other. The green is the big blind, the red is the button. And this is how their worst hands line up against each other on this flop and how their best hands line up against each other. So as you can see from the red line being over, we have a range advantage, not a huge range advantage, but a range advantage across this. And we have no nut advantage because at the top end, we all have the same best hands. When we see another flop at different positions, like if this green line went way above the red line here, that would tell you that you had a range advantage, but he has the nut advantage. If this red line stays above the whole time and is above here, that shows you the nut advantage, which is the question we always want to ask. All right. And Ken, this is going to play just like 80 big blinds in a tournament after the, once you've after the flop.
Right.
Pre-flop, it's different because the sizes are different of the raises and you have an ante, but after the flop, it's the same. We can bet all ace high boards. Let's bet an ace high board. Yep. We are marginally made. We are very upset because when the ace pairs,
I would call it a 6 of heart in my hand, I
we
guess.
have to say we're that much less likely for him to have the ace.
I would
His
call if I
hearts,
had a 6 of hearts, I think.
right, his hearts get there, all of his straight draws don't get there. And if he has to call with his best king highs, the queen got there. So fold this one, call with a 6 of hearts. That's what
Think
we're
so.
saying. All
Yeah.
right, let's do that. We'll check it out. Fold. Yep, 100% fold to his straight draw. That's the one he had. And let's see if the 6 of hearts makes us call. Pocket sixes. Yep. You nailed it. Except not the 6 of hearts, 6 of spades.
Well, the 6 of hearts calls and raises.
The 6 of hearts calls and raises, but not when it has a 6 of spades.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, I can't figure it out that far down. I'm just gonna call.
Yeah,
it
I know.
hard.
No,
I'm just-
I'm saying, yeah, I like that you got that level of it is really good.
So I mean, I figure I'm gonna call half the time and fold half the time, right? So.
Why
Yeah,
do
so that's
Pick up by suit.
why are you calling with the 6 of heart?
You block,
Because-
nut flushes
So
theoretically.
here's the thought.
Gotta
We
go
look
to
at
bed.
this board and when he bets the river, he's betting aces, queens and bluffs, right?
But I've been listening to you all, and I want to say thank you. I'm really enjoying. I'm pretty new, but I thought there was another discussion the other day that exact same thing, and he was saying that because he has a blocker, he's not calling. Now he's saying that if he has the 6 of heart, he is calling.
You've got the thing right. It's about blockers. And so when you're on the river, you think about the blockers in two ways. Do I block him from having the hands he's representing? And do I block him from having his bluffs?
When
Right?
the flush draw miss, you don't want to have a card of the suit. When it hit, you want to have a card of the suit.
But isn't it that he's representing the flush? I was about to say I would call this, and I think I was right. So he is representing that he has a flush, and the ace on the river is kind of good for us. He doesn't have an ace, and he probably doesn't have a queen, and he's
So-
bluffing because he's representing the flush.
So that makes sense, but think about it this way. Let's say that this river was the ace of diamonds instead of the ace of hearts. Okay, and you're deciding whether to call with sixes. What hand do you want him to have the most when you call with sixes? When it's the ace of diamonds? What hand do you want him to have? You want him to have
Same hand that
king,
actually
jack of hearts.
8-5 of heart, 8-6 of 8-7 of hearts, 9-10
Yep.
of heart.
Exactly. So when the heart is not there, you want him to have hearts and you want to put all the hearts into his hand you can. You don't want to have any hearts in your
Can
hand.
you go back to, just click the ace up in the tree? Can you click the ace of hearts?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's change it.
And then let's see what, no, leave it the ace of hearts. Now, this is his bluffing range. Click hearts.
Okay.
He's bluffing hearts the most. So we block. The 6 of hearts isn't really blocking. It's blocking 6-5, right? It's blocking. So you can
But go,
see,
oh, go on, Ken. I'll let you finish.
let's see what suit he's bluffing the most. I don't know if he's bluffing hearts the most or.
Okay, so let's say he's got a 6-8. Let's give him a, let's give him a
You can just
6-8.
click hearts. You can go through the suits.
You mean like that? You mean, oh, you mean just do this? He bluffs, well, the hearts is not a bluff here. So
Oh,
he's
right.
bluffing.
Plus value.
Yeah,
We're blocking
So what we
value.
wanna do
We're
is-
blocking value with the heart. That's why we call, right?
Right. But the thing Saeed is, and am I pronouncing it right? Is it Saeed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Saeed, let's take a look at this. Let's go from the check. Let's change this ace of hearts here to an ace of diamonds, because you were exactly right. But we're gonna now prove it. When the ace of diamonds comes, and we look at our work, and we look at, and he now bets out like 120, he bets 150, right? That's what he did.
Yeah, I guess.
When we look at we're folding all our sixes. Well, that's not helping us. Let's have him bet smaller so we can call something. There we go. We got some sixes. You'll notice that we don't want to have a 6 of hearts now. And that's because it's the blocker thing. We want him to have 2 hearts. We want to put a heart back in the deck and put a heart in his hand, right?
Right.
Because if he has hearts, he's bluffing. When the ace of hearts comes, we want we want his bluffs to come from hands that don't have hearts, because now hearts have gotten there. So we desperately want to have a heart in our hand.
I got you.
Right. And so the way Louis said it, because sometimes it's hard to figure out in your head. So the way Louis said it, just the rule is really quick, which is if it gets there, you want to block it. If it's not there, you want to unblock it.
I got you. I've had,
All
I have a little bit difficulty digesting this concept, and all right, I got it.
Yep. And then the thing that Sam was saying, why are you even thinking about this? It's such a marginal case. And that I want to think about because I'm fascinated more by the theory than I am by the actual making of money in poker, which
One
is
thing that
why,
the population tendency is they really want to bluff when the heart gets there.
sure, because it's a scare card for you. And so if they're going to bluff that heart, you would like it to be a bluff, because they also bet it when they get there, when they have it. The thing that interests me here real quickly is that, oh, how do I lock this so I can see? Oh, okay, I can't. Is that the 6 of hearts is the one that plays. We call and sometimes raise. We don't raise without the 6 of hearts or anything, except when we have the 6 of spades. So there's something about the spade that makes a difference, and I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to understand it for now, but I'd love to know. I'd love to learn that from like Michael Acevedo or somebody, or Mr. Pio, whoever he is.
Thank you.
No problem. Let's play another hand. And Ken, did you ever rerun the 9-7 suited?
No, I said before we started this morning that I had forgotten.
Okay. I just reminded you of it then.
I'm gonna do it over the weekend.
I love that. Thanks, man. I'm like Ahab with the 9-7 suited. All right. Queen 10, we check. He bets, we fold. Because it sucks to be out of position.
What is this one that you guys are using playing?
This is, the program is Pio, which is the
Yeah,
solve, which is the
Pio.
solver program. Right, we're playing 100 big blinds in a cash game, button versus big blind, and we're just alternating, you know, wherever we sit. And we're
Pio you can
playing-
play. Also, I didn't know you can play.
yeah, Pio lets you do this drilling thing. And then
GTO.
because, and then because it's drilling on sims that it's already done, you can always open the sim and look at it and have it exactly, because it's only doing sims that
Awesome.
it has. So unlike when we're reviewing hand histories and we have to like find the hand and sometimes approximate it, we're always getting the exact hand because it's only drilling
Right,
us on
right.
one thing. All right, let's bet this. All right. Check. Check. Queen high is not showdown value. We have nothing and nothing. I think we accept losing this one. Anybody want to probe the turn?
No.
Guess not. Okay. We can. We can probe the turn for large sizing half the time. Let's bet.
Feels gross.
Yeah, I don't think we try to get him to bluff. He didn't bluff the first two times. How small do we have to go?
Went check, 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 check.
Yeah.
So we probably. I mean, yeah, I don't think we're gonna go I don't think we're gonna go.
We're not gonna go
pot.
bigger than 8. We're not going bigger than 80. The question is, are we going minuscule? Are we going 30 or 80? And I'm
I think
going 80.
80
with
is
my
good. I think he's
bluffs.
gonna, I mean, what's he got to call with? Like, he doesn't have over pairs, right?
He called us ace
Ace
high.
high,
He called us
okay.
80 with ace high, and we nailed the sizing. Nailed it. Yep. And I think that's also driven by that's the size we want to bluff at. Even though it didn't get an ace to fold. Yay. Top two, we're betting. And I don't think we size up on this board. So I think it's just a bet 30. Yep. All right. We size up, even though we don't get a customer, because the very few times we do get a customer, we need to be
Our
getting all
range,
in.
this is a spot where our range probably wants to bet. Our betting range probably wants to always bet large too. Do we have bluffs? Like, what are our bluffs? Probably wanna go large too.
Yeah, large. The question is this an overbet spot for our range?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I don't know when to overbet. Okay, great. It's doing a small there, but I mean, we weren't wrong. We're fine. I would say that when the solver mixes, if we mostly take the more aggressive thing it does when we're acting, and we take the more passive thing when it mixes when we're responding, we won't be wrong. So if the solver folds sometime,
9.9 chip EV difference.
yeah, we got that. We got the highest EV that you can get. But I mean, if the solver, if your opponent bets and the solver is folding 30% of the time in game, we can probably fold 100% of the time. And if the solver is raising 30% of the time and checking 70% in game, I think we're fine if we're betting, if we're doing the bet all the time. Check raise.
So
We're
we're gonna probably
rolling.
have some leads there, but check raise is
Yeah,
good. I
yeah,
think you
we
want to
can
check raise
agree.
large, actually.
Yeah. I think that's good. Nope. Check raise small.
Not that
He goes
time.
over the top of us. In solver has some bluffs here. I think our opponents have very few bluffs here. So I
He's
think,
got a lot of bluffs.
you think so? You think they've got a lot of? you
Not a
think that-
lot, but he's definitely got enough.
No, solver does. I'm saying, I'm talking about just in the real world. I think that this is an okay fold.
You don't
Um,
think they show
I
up
don't
with
think we
enough
can-
sevens?
I don't think that I don't think he three bets enough sevens. No, I think he calls sevens.
No, we should be raising back some set, like ace,
Okay.
seven, king.
But we're not
seven,
folding to this. We're not
seven,
folding to the
seven
solver
pair.
yet. That's for sure. I mean, we're
I'm
calling.
wondering if we raise.
You want to raise?
I don't know.
No,
It's-
no
it's
turn
not
card is
like
gonna be good.
spicy. The sol, like I would never, but the solver gets spicy sometimes. It might just want, it might want to die on this hill right now. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it wants to die right now on this hill.
I don't think in 100 big blinds it does.
Cause
That's a
calling
lot.
feels like bad because there's really no good turn cards for us. It's not a 2, a 4. Like, we don't wanna see a spade. We don't wanna see
Yeah.
it. I mean, 5's okay.
Okay, so what, so if we re-raise, how re-raise big do you want to go?
I don't
You wanna
know.
shove?
I don't know what to do here, dude. I'm lost.
All right. I'm on team call and I understand your argument for team raise. Peter, you're the deciding voter.
I'm not
Anybody
team
else?
raised. I'm team lost.
Your team lost. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, his bluffs don't have to be equity driven because he's in position. So I feel like because of that, we get to raise here. If our positions were reversed, his bluffs would be equity driven around the gut shot and the flush draw.
Right.
So here he's still pretty wide, but we check raised him. He three bets. I gotta say, I think this is either. Oh, this is so gross.
I'm raising, click it.
All right. Peter.
Yeah.
What
Let's,
size? What size are you raising? Because team
Click.
raised is 1.
Just click it.
Well, I think.
504.
Yeah, this is a. Yeah, we can.
504 can clean up equity with his bullshit.
Okay, so
we
what
fold-
size? are you-
504, and we can fold to a 5 bet.
All right. That's what we decided.
Ship it.
Insanity, you
Calls.
people.
It calls.
Oh,
But see, I told you, like, his ace 7 is still supposed to raise for value there, right?
that's. Yes, and so
problem-
we call and we keep it in.
But
We're
this-
lost out of position the rest of the hand.
the same reason that we want to raise, he wants to raise because every
Yeah.
turn card in the deck is bad for him,
Yep.
right?
All right. All right, here we go.
Well, it's not a raise, but tough
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah,
I mean, it gets tough. Turns and rivers are gonna be brutal.
yes. Poker is hard sometimes.
I would have liked to play that out the right way and see how we.
Okay, let's do it.
We can't.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, you can pretend.
Yeah,
Like we just go back into the browser and make us
Call.
call that 3 bet.
yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. He bets 30. We raise and oh, got a hit strategy. There we go. It's 30. We raised 142 and we were fine with that. And the preferred raise size, what was one for the preferred raise size was the smaller one. No, they were fine. And then he re-raised, he basically clicks it back.
267 or 276.
And we call.
Mhm.
All right, and the turn, we never see.
I mean,
So-
make it a 9.
Yeah, so let's make the turn
That's
that.
not good for us, I don't think. I don't think a 10 is good for
Nothing
us.
is good for us. Well, now we have 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 9 is too
Yeah.
good for us.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, no,
throw,
he's good.
throw up a jack.
Jack
Yeah,
or a 10. I feel like he's gonna raise some 10x.
Uncoordinated jack.
there we go. Oh, I threw up a 10. Oh, now we still have 8, 9, 10. Throw up a jack. Jack. All right. Jack. We just called, so we check
Yep. 100%.
100%. With his ace-7, he bets sometimes.
Well, his range is betting 70% of the time, so we're gonna be facing
Yeah.
a bet 70% of the time.
He bets and he's gonna size up oh, no, he's not gonna, he doesn't have to size up here.
The pot's already bloated, so.
Yeah, he can just bet, he can bet like that.
He's betting 2/3 pot 70% of the time, right?
All right, let's do that bet.
Wasn't that the range? Wasn't that how he played the range?
Let's take a-
Yeah,
Pretty 70%, yeah.
Okay.
383.
383, there it is.
We
we
start
call.
there.
We fold a little bit. And suit wise, we want to have an 8 of spades in our hand because we want to block. And so Said, if you're still there, notice here, we want the 8 of spades now, because if he has a flush draw, we want it to not get there. So this is the opposite on, if it comes in on the river, we want it. If it doesn't come in on the river, we don't want it. So right now we want an 8 of spades. And if the river is a 2 of hearts, we would have preferred to not have an 8 of spades in our hand. So that's where it's going to reverse. While the flush draw is still live, we don't want to block we don't care about blocking his bluffs. We care about blocking his bluffs from coming in. Okay, there's our 8s. Yeah, so we call. And we just hate it. And sometimes you hate poker. And then the river. All right, and we call.
Yeah, because he's still firing with a 7 here a lot of the time, right?
Right,
Well, he might check
And
some
now we're-
numbers.
right. And now we'll watch this. We'll bring in the spades. With the 6, 7, 8, yeah, with the 9 of spades. And now if we call with our 8s, we will want to have a spade in our hand. It doesn't matter. It's ignoring it. It's a non-issue at this. Oh, no, check. Sorry. He has to bet now. He bets.
now he
And we
calls.
respond with our 8s.
All call.
We call, and you can't, it's because we don't have the other spades. They don't get there. Okay. Never. All right, moving on. Gross enough to bet it, or just give up on this that we can't credibly rep? I'm saying check this one. This is too easy for him to check raise.
Well, he doesn't
No,
have a lot
well,
to do.
No, this is great though. So it mostly bets. The check is not wrong. Anybody raising here?
No, we get here with better nines. So, and we get here with some deuces and stuff. So this is a marginal made hand.
Yep.
Happy to play for a small pot
Yep.
and happy to call off a. Oh, are we getting some
Oh,
value?
maybe. I.
We
It just.
If we raise, can we get called by worse? Definitely get called by a jack or a 9 or a 7.
We can.
Yeah.
But. Even though we are so ahead of his range, I don't think we want to reopen the action with a hand this good. I'm
Well-
probably too nitty. It's a quarter pot bet. And we really don't want to, oh no, that's a block bet. Screw the
Yeah.
solver. We're playing against humans. That's a block bet. Raise it.
So think of it this way. If we just call here, we collect 48 chips from all his bluffs. If we raise to 176, we're collecting another 130 chips from all of his thin value
Yeah.
and blocker bet hands that are going to call here.
Yep.
Right. So I think we can raise and get called by a 9 and a jack for sure.
I agree. Plus, I don't know that the solver's doing this, but I think in game, this 48 is such a, please don't make me play for more money, and therefore we should make them play for more money.
He is also going to have some traps here. So the solver is going to raise us sometimes too.
Yeah, the solver is a terrible person.
Put us in a terrible spot.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at us get paid with that 7, baby.
Beautiful. And look at that. There's even some raise to 304, which I would think a 7 folds to.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Yeah.
If he had bet half pot there, if he bet us anything that was a more polarizing size, I think I would have been more likely to call, even with how far up, even with how good our hand is.
Yeah, I think if he bets bigger, if he bets more than half pot, it's a fine call. I think if he bets half pot or less, I think we have to raise for value.
Yeah. Yeah, I think anything that in real life, anything that it could be a blocker bet, we're raising.
Yeah.
Check. That was nice. Anybody want to probe the turn with this hand? I don't. If we probe though, I say that we probe for 30 if we do it.
I know we just have yeah, we're pretty wide. We have some 5s in our range, but he has some aces to check back.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is just a give up.
I give up. Yeah, we're gonna give up.
And we got there. We got to the river. Maybe we realized our equity was queen high.
We got to the river queen high. I think we bluff.
It's a good bluff spot because he didn't bet hearts on either street.
Yep.
So he doesn't have the ace of hearts, very likely. So I think this certainly can bet.
Yep. And I think in the real world, I think a bet of 60, I think a bet of 65 gets the job done. And I think solver, so in solver land, we bet 80, but I think the solver is going to do is going to bluff at 150. I don't think we should, but I think that's just from what I've seen. I think it's going to overbet for its bluff. But we're bluffing this at 80. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can bluff and fold.
Yeah.
What, can I interrupt for a second? What was the ACR we're reviewing at James? Was that a 1650 40K?
The 1650, it was only 4K for second place. So yeah, probably 40K. Are you
Alright.
trying to get DGen, Ken?
No, I had a friend that was in it.
Oh,
He was on the, in the hand history.
Alright. 0% bluffs. Doesn't matter what the size is, they're all wrong.
look at him not bet those hearts at all.
Look at that. Look at it, never betting the hearts.
Yeah, it's funny, like, because he never bets. I
Trappy
think that
bastard.
He gets to the river with it.
Yeah. Yeah. At least we didn't overbet bluff.
Yeah. So do you play a lot of cash live, Scott, or do you just play online?
Just play online now. I played a ton of live fixed limit poker. That was what my real game was until I met you guys. And I haven't played no limit live yet because of pandemic stuff, it doesn't seem like it's comfortable to sit in a casino right now. Just don't, when I
Are
can
you-
do it.
Are you in Minneapolis?
No, I'm in San Francisco area, Bay Area.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there's a no limit casino. There's a limit casino within 30 minutes of my house that plays 20-40. And the game is relatively soft. And then there's a no limit place that's even closer to my house. But I haven't played in any of their no limit games yet.
Yeah, I grew up on limit Hold'em too.
Yeah.
Limit Omaha, so that's where I come from. So
Yeah. Those were the games we played. Hold'em in Omaha. Love Omaha 8. It's a good game.
Peter, are you in Ontario as well?
nope, Manitoba.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
so that's one over, that's between, British Columbia, what's that?
Yeah.
Alright.
So you're like Midwest, but on the west side.
Yeah, we're straight north of Grand Forks.
Okay.
Okay, so I say we bet this small. It's credible. We have 2 backdoor straights we can get to and a backdoor flush and an overcard.
When I
We
was
have
younger, I used to dream about fishing in Manitoba. I never got up there.
Bet larger. Bet larger. Wow, okay.
Oh, so
We now have our draw.
the reason why we bet larger is that we would want to bet larger with tens and jacks and ace nine to protect against drawing with overcards. So that's why
Right.
if you're going to
So-
bluff, it's going to be bigger.
Into that range. Got it. Okay. So. If we bet again,
God, I'm running so fucking bad.
we would size up because we now have a draw. But given how light the draws were on that board for him, I think that 10 nails his actual range, even though it helps our perceived range. And I think maybe we check back now.
I run
Yeah, I mean,
fucking sets.
the 10's going to be a better card for us than out of position or in position than for him out of position,
Yeah,
right? We have the better 10's pre-flop,
yep.
but I mean, it's cash and it's deep, so queen jack is still a thing, and we do have a draw to the nuts.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
I think this is good for our range, and I think it's bad enough and good enough for our hand to want to see another card that we
Yeah,
just got for free.
it's also rainbow now, so all the bluffs come from straight draws.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to be a little cognizant of the one-liner coming in on the river. We're not going to be able to get value on the river when we make our hand, I think, is the problem.
That's absolutely true. The jack, we can't get any value from the jack, and when the queen comes, we can't bet.
Yeah,
So we're not
right.
getting value on the river, so I guess we try for it now. And in that case, we size up to 128.
Yeah, and then I think we're probably checking most rivers that are, unless it's an ace or a king.
Yep, and if he raises us now, we fold.
Yeah, we have a low equity hand, so.
Alright. Nailed it.
Yeah.
There is some checking,
But mostly
but the
better.
sizing was perfect. Good job. And the problem with the 4 is it doesn't, there's no equity shift here. So if he wasn't scared before, he's not scared now. So I think this is I don't think we triple barrel this one.
Yeah, I think we give up.
Yep.
No,
Yep,
it
we
is stuffing it.
It is a triple barrel.
Well, not quite a stuff, half. So pot and a
Over
half.
pot.
Yeah, pot and a quarter.
I've noticed the position goes fucking nutso sometimes. Like
Yep.
with hands I can't figure out.
Yeah, I don't think, yeah, and by the way, that bluff doesn't work this time.
Yeah.
I just want to point out he calls. So. We realized our equity better than the solver.
Funny, I wonder on the flop against our big bet that represents more of the range that has tens and jacks, if that makes his ace 10 fold.
Find out.
Right?
That's what
Like
we're
the
here
flop
for.
was supposed to be a bit of a bigger bet.
All right, let's do it.
I guess. I mean, I don't know the board. I wasn't really paying attention, but I guess king highs fold, ace highs fold, some pairs worse than a 10, which he really doesn't
Yeah.
have, sevens, sixes.
Yeah, like on three,
fives.
on 3-8-9 rainbow, does he just fold ace 10 on the flop against the bigger bets?
Oh, on the flop. I got you.
That's what
Yeah.
we're gonna find out. All right, oh,
I was wondering what we're trying to get to fold on a river too with that hand, like. It must get enough to fold to
yeah.
make it worthwhile.
yeah, we get some folds.
Yeah, and that's why you go bigger with
Yep.
that, because you're blocking the hands that he can get value with a 10, but with having either ace 9 or pocket tens, right? Like, those are our value hands there.
No, it doesn't. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Look at that. Our small bet ace 10 calls all of it. All the ace 10s call our small bet. Our bigger bet
They all fold.
gets lots of folds from the offsuit ones. And
Yeah,
the backdoors
stuff.
call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of which he doesn't have as many because, he raises them. So what we're saying here is the solver played better than me.
Oh, well, I mean, we just made a slight error on
Yep.
the flop.
And then we didn't bluff the river like it said, but the bluff wouldn't have worked. All right, this is nothing for nothing.
Yeah, we could let this go.
We just did.
We got bluffed.
Yeah. We had him dominated in clubs. Dominated, I tell you.
But on that board, I almost like his hand more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He can continue to play. Yeah, no good can come from this hand. We will not win this hand. Check because we have second pair, bet because there's an ace on the board. We're gonna simplify our strategy to betting because there's an ace on the board, but I'm sure it does a lot of checking. This bet can't be wrong.
We're on the button against the small blind. It's should be a range bet with aces, with an ace.
It
on
is,
the board.
yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we can range bet ace high boards if we want. We don't have, but as you can see, it's not that we do range bet ace high boards. It's that we can bet range bet ace high boards.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
Louis Philippe wakes up, he'll hit you if you check that. So
We have not checked one of those yet. But every time the solver has done some checking, and very often it's checked more, but it's never been like we only have like 5% bets. We've always been fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monotone boards.
Oh, I don't want to call this and we're going to. We're
Yeah,
gonna
you-
call this one and then fold to his next, and fold the best hand on the next street.
Uh,
That's what's gonna happen. I mean, we're not gonna,
lots of the time, but he should be careful too. Like he's gonna check call.
all right.
We have a
Well,
pair.
yeah, I think this is gonna go badly for us, but the solver's not folding, but we're not folding it yet.
Yeah. So long
Yep.
as the
Oh,
pot
but it
remains,
Does some raising.
so long as the pot remains small, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Right. This is the
100%
problem.
check.
As long as the pot
Yep.
the turn.
Yeah, and now we fold and we made no solver mistake. It's just, we're just miserable because,
Yeah, but I mean, he's got a relevant blocker to size up, right? Like if that's the
Yeah.
ace-7 of hearts, you might check that.
yeah, yep. Yep. Yeah, we did not make a solver mistake. It's just a miserable thing, except, and had we done the check raise, doesn't work.
No, the check raise is going to lead to a punt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No, he may not, he might not three bet us. He might just call.
yeah, he
and
might.
realize equity that way, but we're not, but he's bluffing the river if he doesn't get there and we're folding. Because we're not betting, because we're checking the turn. All right. Great. So many reasons to see bet small. 100%. Right. We had a draw before, we still have a draw. I hate that the fact that now it makes it easier for him to call with his 8, but so be it. Let's bet 128.
Do we need to bet big here? I think we can bet small.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, because our
He's wrong.
our 3 aces want to get value and like what can he have?
He
Right?
has an 8. Okay. And I don't think we bet our 10 now to get value from his 8. To not get chip and we trade that off for not getting check raised.
Yeah, so like if we'd have bet small on the turn, I think we could still bet small on the river for value.
Right, but now if he calls the big bet,
yeah, it's we got our value already.
Yep.
Time to go home.
yep, and get it, and we did. Good. Now let's go back and let's check that. I like that. I like your idea there. Let's see if we bet small on the turn, if we get to bet small on the river.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed in tournaments, and I've been taking a look at a few spots where I've really made big mistakes, and it's I do get greedy, right? I'm trying to get 3 streets of value too often. So that's definitely going to be a cash game leak if I have it too.
Oh, I've never hit compare actions. I wonder what that'll do sometime. We'll look. Okay, so here we bet small. He still calls us with his 7s, just like he did. Then the question is now the river comes and it is the off. Okay, and then he calls. So we got to give him a call. There we go. And the river comes and which 10 is it? Does it matter? It's offsuit.
Kind of, yeah, it's a rainbow. Doesn't matter.
There we go. And he checks his,
Checks
oh,
everything.
and he checks, I know he checks a set of 8s there too. Okay, so he checks, there's the check button. And now with our 10-8 offsuit, which was 100% check, it is still 100% check.
Hmm.
So nope. Good thought. Turns out that a billion flops, that running it a billion times doesn't agree. But the logic was good.
So what
But it's
hands
just,
do we- oh, we bet ace-7 and ace-9 small for value to balance our bluffs that bet small, queen-7 and queen-9. Oh, so the 7 and the 9 holding relevant blockers to the straight. We get to bet small with both our
Right,
bluffs
Jack
and our
9.
value.
yeah,
Yeah.
our 9, our bluffs come from straight blockers.
And our value hands that also bet small are the ones that have the blocker in the same metric, ace nine and ace seven.
Aha,
Ah, and then everything else is a big bet.
nine and ace nine, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, ace seven. Yeah, really good observation.
And then everything else bets big.
Right,
Bluff
and
set.
our big bluffs are the 7-5, the jack 7. So yeah, so the missed straights, the straight blockers mix, they bet big and medium. Okay. Yeah, so with the 10-8 that we were talking about, although it makes sense, it's just the other argument is overwhelming that we don't want to reopen the action for his slow plays. You know, yes, we get value from, we get value from all his eights. But that's not enough to do it.
Yeah, and that's a leak for me in game. I am so greedy. I'm for sure thin betting that river for a third pot or a half pot to try and get an 8 to call.
Well, do you consider yourself playing at low stakes, medium stakes, or high stakes?
Low stakes. I play like
At low stakes, that's a good exploit. According to one of the webinar, Jonathan did a video that said, that had, the 3 things that we need to do more of at small stakes, low stakes, and it was bet thin for value on the river because they don't check raise bluff you enough.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to get check raised bluff, the worst thing that happens is you get check raised for value and you fold, or you get called and you were wrong, but you're not getting bluffed off your hand.
Yeah. Tournaments I play up to about 60 and 50s, and then cash games I'll play 5 cent, 10 cent. So
yeah. I just moved up to the $1, $2 $1, $2 fast cash game. And so far I feel comfortable. But the real difference that I found, aside from you don't find the limping mistakes, there's still some. I mean, people make what I consider to be mistakes. But bluff catching is a real thing that so far that I've seen. I've made a lot of my money with your bet doesn't make sense bluff catching. That when I was at 2 cent, 5 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, that it's just like the big bets were always the nuts.
Okay.
See, okay. We check. I don't even remember us checking this, but we did. We did. Maybe we've got it node locked. Anyway, we check. This is certainly our board. This is certainly not the board for this hand, and nothing good happens. I think we give up.
yeah, and he also bet big, right? So
Yeah, I didn't even look at the big bet. Yeah, we fold. I didn't even get that far.
against the small bet, I don't know, like it's pretty gross even against the small bet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need to look in the browser to see what happens. That we'll just do that on another hand when it happens. But against the big bet, yeah, foldy fold. All right. We may have seen this one before. We are betting, we are not afraid of the 5. And we are betting small. Betting large because the next card bothers us? I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's tough though because it's a paired board, and this is key cards in his wheelhouse.
Yeah. I guess then we bet small because, I mean, if we bet large, we disincentivize him from check raise bluffing us. And although we won't enjoy it, I mean, we make money when he check raise bluffs us.
Yeah, so I think we can bet small here and hope to get check raised. Yeah.
Yep, and 100%, except for the, yeah, great. Yeah.
Because we have a certain call off, and I mean,
Yeah.
on some bad turn cards, the 7 and the 9 both bring straight draws for us. So
Yeah. I have a problem on the river. There are times on the river when I will make a bet, a small bet to, like a blocking bet. Like I'm gonna make, I will bluff because I don't want you to bluff me bigger. When in reality, I should probably, there's more money to be made by checking and letting them bluff and calling them with your ace highs when you're gonna do it. But I just hate it.
or
It's like I'd rather bluff you ace high for 60, for 40 to 60% pot, 75% pot, than having to call you ace high for 100 or 120% pot.
and
I
the way
don't
the,
think that's a good play.
the way the solver fixes that is it check raises the bluff with a bluff, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
The check
Yeah.
rate is the bluff ace high. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna check this board and he's gonna bet, and I don't think we need to raise. I think we keep him bluffing, and we often don't have the best hand. We usually do.
yeah, we mostly do. I
You
think
wanna
this one.
raise?
No, I think we have better aces to raise.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing, I mean, nothing bad can happen on the turn.
Yeah, I mean-
It is impossible that he has pocket fours and hits a 4 on the turn. It's impossible. It cannot happen. It is impossible that he has 8, 9, and we hit 2 pair on the turn. It can never happen.
Yeah, the thing is, when we take this line, when he checks the turn, we're probably
Yeah.
going into bluff catcher mode with a 100% bluff catcher, right?
Yeah.
It's hard for the board to run out bad enough that
Yeah.
we have to fold on the river.
Yeah. And if the board starts to run out bad, we can bet out on the turn. I mean, check bet, call bet is a line. I don't know when to take it, but it does exist.
Yeah.
Look at that. Check bet call. And as I said, it is impossible for him to have an 8, 9 and for the board to come a 7. It can't happen. So with that in mind, do we want to check raise now, or do we want to bet out? I don't think we want to bet out.
So his bluffs, well, he doesn't have to be equity driven here. So he's going to start checking and shutting down his king highs and his
Right.
queen highs.
He's
Right
going to
hand.
continue to bet his good aces.
So I think, yeah, I think we could get some. No, you know what? We actually have better value hands here because we still have sets and now we have a lot of straights.
Yeah.
I don't think we get to check raise this one. So I think this is a third card in our range that's good for us. I think we can check call here pretty comfortably.
Okay, so we're not doing that weird line that we talked about of check bet, call bet.
So
We're
the
just not gonna
7,
scream the raise.
yeah, the 7 wants to lead, right? Because it's a good card for our range.
Mhm.
But I mean, he also has some interaction here too. So we'll see, because he could size up here too, right? So
Yeah, does he ever check back? Does he check back an ace on this board? No. That 7 is not scary enough for him to check back an ace.
not a value ace, right? Like he's
Yeah.
gonna size up with ace, king, ace, queen.
Well, then that can happen.
Yep, which is fine.
We're gonna check call, or we're gonna bet for value and try to get called by what? Nothing. So we should check
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
check bluff catch, right? This is kind of the line we set
Yep.
us up to take.
Yep.
Easy bluff catch.
Excellent. Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. If we bet that turn, this good thing doesn't happen.
Yeah, he's got a gut shot.
Yep, 100% every time.
But it's interesting. If he turns the 7 of diamonds, he probably
Mhm.
barrels. And we get more value.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm still check raising that turn, by the way.
Okay.
I see what you're saying is we have sets and we have straights now, but we're still high enough, I think, to check raise it. And we don't mind check raising. We don't mind check raising into the two-tone board, the flush draw board now. Check. Let's bet this, and it's still a small bet.
That is a bunch of cards in his range. Lots of our range wants to check. Our overpairs want to bet big on this flop. So I think this is either going to be a small bet or a check. Yeah, I think either is fine here. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to mix. I think you're going to see some big bets, right? Pot, some small bets with hands like this, and some checks with hands like this too.
Okay, so I think this hand checks some, but when it bets, I think it bets small. I don't think it bets big. I think it bets small more than big when it bets. And I don't think it checks more than 80%. So let's bet it.
I also think we're more likely to bet with king 5 and queen 5 here,
Sure.
right? Than
Yeah.
ace 5, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think ace 5 is wrong there to bet.
Yeah, because the wheel draw of the ace is irrelevant because the wheel can't come in without the 5, without we don't need the ace, is what I'm saying. Yep.
The one thing I
So,
will say is
yeah.
that a lot of turns allow us to barrel,
Yep.
right? So
Yep. So happy.
yeah, and check and bet have the same EV. Yeah, and even the big bet has this.
Yeah, the EVs are real similar.
Let me check this one back. We're not folding.
But we picked the highest EV, second highest EV, and the most fun way to play the hand.
Yeah. And probably the best way to play against population, who's going to under check.
Yep. I don't think we should represent this one. I don't think this is one we should defend.
Yeah, I think this is an easy give up. We have lots of better hands.
Yep. But when it does it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with playing the 95% strategy there, getting bluffed out by Jack high once in a while.
Yep. Yay. Finally, bottom set. We're going to bet bottom set because you can have these. This is a board that we would size up on. We would bet our sevens bigger.
Yep. But
and we're betting this board polarized because this board misses us so much.
But that also is a spot where he's going to check raise a lot with the flush draws and the middling straight draws. So,
and we would love to get check raised.
Yeah, I think I'd give him some rope to check raise us here. So I think I'd bet small to let him check raise us rather than tell him we have pocket nines.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to agree. I'm going to say that in game, I'm betting small here 100% because of the thing that the way people respond to small bets compared to big bets, compared to the way a solver plays it. So I'm definitely doing that. And against the solver, the only argument, I think the solver will have some of the 80 because of what we said, especially for the range, but that's what we're doing. And I think it's a better play. There we go. Good. All right. Let's see. No, more 80 for the other argument comes in. Great. Perfect. Okay.
So the other thing is this could happen, right? Like now he might shut down.
Yeah, right. I hate the ace. I hate the ace. But the only way that we're going to get what this hand deserves is for him to have something worth calling. So I think we size up.
Yeah.
I don't think we piddle around with trying to keep him in with things anymore.
If he turned an ace, he's not folding when we size up because we have lots of spades that do that too.
Yep. But I think we don't bet, but I don't think we overbet, because we really want the spades to stay in.
Perfect.
No, overbet. I mean, perfect result.
Yeah.
But overbet is right. Okay, now click it back, shove it, or we have another street to get it in on the river.
So we're not really afraid of the flush because sometimes the 4 of spades or the ace of spades peels off here.
Mhm.
So if we raise, he's going to fold out a bunch of his range. So I think the preference is going to be to call
Right,
and let him lead into us on the river because we can always just shove the river.
right. We can shove the river. We're not too, the river is gonna be 920, 980, 1080. So yeah, we can shove the river.
Yeah, it's going to be a pot on the river. So
All right.
I mean, we're going to have to fade some stuff,
Oh,
but
look at this. This is great. This is so great.
Yeah.
We nailed it. And now we have the worst card that we can. We're either beat or he's gonna shut down, but we're still shoving. It is what it is.
Is there a
Right?
half pot bet?
There is a 30% bet.
That doesn't seem right. Is that a thing in cash, betting less than half pot in position on the river?
Not according to Matt Affleck.
yeah,
Well,
According to
I mean,
Jay.
in MTTs, it's not. I don't know. Maybe cash is more different.
I asked. No, I asked specifically whether it was different in cash. He said it made no difference.
yeah,
I would go
it
for
generally
the,
doesn't.
I would go for the small bet because you can still get called by a king now on the river.
Yeah, but the difference between 1,000 and 325 is 676 chips. It's a lot of chips to give up.
And you're more likely to get called
When he
when
has
you
this.
bet big.
I don't know, you think he's
So-
calling, you think he's not calling with an ace now?
I mean, gonna call with ace 7, ace 4. I mean, what aces does he have? It went check, bet. Call, and then check, bet. He raised turn. Okay.
All right.
I guess you do
Um,
go. I guess you do go for it.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing was this, in our homeworks, when we've gotten to this point from all, from the years ago homeworks, there were nothing but pot size bets on the river in this situation. Whether they were bluffs or value, they were pot size. And this is still a value hand, even with a flush there. We
Checks
fold this.
back.
Checks back. It just goes, I'm so afraid of the spades that he can't call me with it. Okay,
Yeah. But even betting is still huge plus EV for us, right?
Yeah.
He folds a 7. Take a look at what he calls with on that river with a shove. See if he calls with an ace.
if he doesn't
That's
call with
what
an
we're
ace,
targeting.
yeah, if he doesn't call with an ace, then
So a small
is-
bet was the most EV though, right?
no. Checking, no, hold on. I hit the wrong button here. Let's get this to the right place.
With 1 down on the blue.
Click on here. No,
Nope, nope,
yeah.
up.
I gotta get to my window. All right. Let's get back to, let's just get there this way.
Sure.
We're on browser? No, we're on.
I gotta
we're
go
on
to
the-
bed. I just was curious what it said in the,
Let's see, can I see his window menu? No, I can't get to that on his screen because I'm only in the room. All right, never mind. That's not how we're gonna find out. Oh, yeah, here we go. So browser on the river. Strategy. And we checks and we.
No.
Let's see what the 2 responses are. To the jams. He has no cards left. He
He's-
folds his aces. He calls his ace 3.
And his ace 9s. Oh,
Folds
those are probably spades.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah, all he calls
He
with is
calls with-
flushes.
Yeah, it was beat. And he calls us with a set.
Yeah, he calls with the bigger set, but he folds the set that doesn't have a spade.
Yeah.
We get better to
Crazy. Right. Now let's look at the, yeah, so what luckily we folded out fours. That was not our intent. Now let's see what happens if we bet the 350. Now we get raised by all the spades. He still folds the ace. The only thing we get is we get a call from ace seven.
rare.
So narrow fours call, or they beat us. 4-3
Fours,
calls.
4-3 of spades calls.
That's a flush.
No. So he only calls with a flush or two pair,
Ace seven.
right?
yeah.
Aces and
And
sevens.
he's,
What's
right,
ace
and his
jack?
bluff- right, the
Click,
only good-
click square proportional to weight.
it is, or you mean unclick it?
Yeah. There you can see better what he's got.
They're gonna see better, yeah. I'd like to say, so the only good thing happens is that he bluffs at a very low rate, the 4-3 and the 5-4. The 4-3, no, yeah, he bluffs the 4-3. That's the only good thing that happens. And even that we're miserable about, because do we want to call? Because look at how often he's bluffing, like never.
Yeah, his range gets so narrowed when he check raises that turn that all his bluffs are spade driven, because out
Yeah.
of position always has to bluff based on equity. So when
Yeah.
the spades come, he has no hands that aren't two pair or spades.
Yeah.
Because all his bluffs got there.
Yeah.
That's why he has to check.
Right.
Because he doesn't have he has no bluffs on the river, right? His bluffs are two pair.
Yeah.
He's
And then
relying on
more-
us.
Oh, and then Ken, I think we can answer your question here, because we go to,
It's easier
go
just
to-
to go
yeah.
back to, just go back. to-
go back to here, and now we look at our
no,
hand. And
You
we
can
look
just
at
go
our-
back to the window we play with,
Right, that one, I somehow I couldn't find that window.
I'll
Maybe
show
if I
you.
close-
Well, that's what I mean. I was gonna show you how to do it. So,
Okay, there.
hit hand histories.
Oh, okay, and that
Right.
pops it open again.
And then you can
Okay.
just click whatever hand we're looking at and it'll bring it up
Right,
again.
okay. Right, okay.
So what was the
that's what I'm
difference
looking-
between small
Yeah.
bet and big bet? I was curious.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna find right now. This hand histories gets us there. Okay, this is our hand.
So up a little bit.
Click river.
Click here, click river.
No,
click with-
no, just go down and click the hand we were playing and then to the right. Click our hero river.
Hero river.
There you go.
Oh, here we
There.
go. Hero river. That's what we want. No, that's villain river.
Yeah.
Villain hero river. Click this.
Oh, so it's gone. All the results are gone.
Yeah, all right.
Alright, no big deal.
No, no big deal.
Not a big deal at all.
Interesting. What a bluff on that turn, eh? With a 7, turns a 7 into a bluff.
Yep. Decides he'll rep the ace and if we re-raise him there, he just goes away. Although we got no more money any other way. Oh, okay. Right, let's see. Loading. Check.
Hey, I
through-
have a question about the previous.
Yeah.
night.
Yep.
If we are in the villain position and we have ace four, what do we do?
Okay, so we have ace four. This is on the previous hand, right? Let me get to that. Let me get to that one. Okay, so we go here. We go here. We're on the button with ace four.
If we are in the big blind.
Click. Right. Oh, in the big blind with ace four. Okay, let's see. Okay. Browser. So on the flop, we have ace four. We check because we check range. We get bet at, and I believe we bet. What size did we bet? We decided on, we decided to
I
bet
think,
big,
I
I
think
think.
we decided big, yeah.
Yeah, big
we
was what we
decided
should have bet.
Right, I think we decided big. And, oh, no, we said in real life, no, we didn't. We bet
Yeah,
small.
yeah, we didn't.
talked about it.
Small.
We said in game, we're gonna bet small. All right, there we go. And then he has strategy. Ace four mixes calls and raises. The
Alright,
spades raising the most, obvious, that makes sense. So let's say that he calls with the ace four. Okay. Now the turn comes and the turn was our ace of offsuit.
Ace of clubs.
There's ace of clubs. There's our offsuit ace. And so it's 100% check and let the guy hang himself. We are the guy and we hang ourselves betting. We bet large now, right?
Yeah, size up.
Sized up. Ace four just calls. Does not
Okay.
raise.
Yeah, it wants to keep ace, king, ace, queen, ace, jack in there who are gonna size up and triple barrel.
Right. And then the river is our spade. And I believe it was the king of spades, right?
I think it was king of spades.
King of spades. We do not bet the ace four. Regardless, even though it's, we just let the guy continue to bluff when he does. We go for it. This sizing is
Yeah,
wrong.
I think we went all in.
Yeah, because there was a
We
check
did.
raise on the turn before, right? So now the pot's a little
Oh,
different.
there was check raise, but right, but we didn't check raise now. We
Yeah,
check
so
raised
now
at
we
5-7. Let's go back
go
and look
for-
at, yeah, okay. So let's go. Doesn't matter what size. He folds the two pair.
Awesome.
Folds two pair. That's a big fold.
What if it's
Now-
just a pot size bet on the river there?
Yeah, let's do that.
Scale back one size.
We don't have pot size, so let's do this
Yeah.
one as our pot size. Now. We
Still
call.
just calling the flush. Oh, yeah, calls the
No,
diamond.
raise. Calls two pair for a reasonable size bet. Okay. And then let's take a look at one more thing on, which is, let's take a look at that check raise that he does, how often he does it. It was 5-7, right?
Yeah, 75 of
He
clubs.
never does. Yeah, he doesn't do it. I mean, he did it. But we're playing against a high rolled number.
Yeah.
But he does 6-5 all the time.
Yeah, that's open ended, right? They get it. That's an equity driven one,
Yeah,
right? But 6-5 of spades is too good, so it does it less.
yeah,
Right? Its equity is too high.
yeah. And he check raises the deuces more than the fours. And the sevens all the time.
That's just a balance thing.
Yeah, that's something I choose to not understand or even try to. All right, we check, when check,
Thank
check.
you.
No problem. I would like to bet for value here, for value and protection.
Yeah, the 4 is a card that hits our range pretty well.
Yeah.
We can definitely do some overcard equity denial here.
Yes, plus we're also denying equity for a 5 or a 7 that comes on the river. That turns our hand into playing the board. And so that size for this board, I want to go 80. 30 might do it.
Yeah, a 30 will probably get called by ace. Ooh, although it's the one card we can't probably bet the river.
Right, but.
Yep.
But it was 80.
Yeah,
So we nailed that.
if he bet 30, he's still gonna float with his ace.
Yeah.
And right? We don't
Yeah.
want him to do that, so
Yeah, he called 80. I don't think we bet again.
check.
And we offer him the bluff and he wins. We don't
Well-
bluff. You want a bluff catch?
We bluff catch here.
Okay, let me just say against population. I fold. I have the 3 of spades in my hand, so I block a spade. Do I block the straight draws? I don't really block the straight draw because it's the 6 is the relevant straight draw.
We block the value end of the straight draw though, right? Like we block the made straight.
Yeah, we block one of the made straights. And let's see, what made straight do we block? We block the 3-6 made straight. He shouldn't be
got it.
raising 3-6. He doesn't have 3-6 suited,
That's a
You're
good
right.
bluff card for him.
so that's irrelevant.
So yeah, okay, good fold.
And because in this case, we know his exact range.
I'm
And he
calling.
never has 3-6. You're calling?
Yeah.
You savages. All right. I'm folding in game. I'm folding versus solver.
Yeah, it's, mostly fold. Call's not
Mostly
that
fold.
bad.
Nope, a little bit of calling. But this is that mix there that I think that this is that mix that we can fold 100% in game.
Yeah, when an ace or a king peels off, it's a fold, but I think we probably call all other overcards that aren't an ace or a king.
Yeah, sure. Maybe not an 8.
Yeah, maybe not an 8 because he has all his 6s will have some continuation there.
Okay. Worse things than that have happened in my life.
He's bluffing a lot on the king, right?
He should be.
That's why I'm calling, honestly.
You want to look at Silver's bluffs? or
It doesn't matter. I'm
population?
just mostly listening, to be honest.
Okay,
He's going to be balanced in his bluffs there on the river, but
I'm getting
Yeah.
deep in this
yeah,
game.
he is.
when we bet big on the turn, his floats aren't going to have just overcards and stuff. They're going to start folding out. It's going to be much
Yeah.
more heavily based around having an
The
ace
ace,
or
king, ace, queen. It's gonna be ace, king, ace, queen. I think you can fold king, queen there.
ace 6, right?
Oh,
Straight
yeah.
draw.
Yeah, with real draws. But I mean, of just the high card hands, it seems like it's ace, king, ace, queen.
Yeah.
All right. Back again with the 3s. I think we have to bet this.
So we would bet our over pairs big here,
Right?
right?
Would we bet our overpairs big here? I mean, we bet,
Yep.
eights, not, I mean, I don't know, we're gonna bet 10s or jacks big. And certainly not aces, kings, queens. Don't need it.
No,
They don't
but-
need protection.
But 8s and 9s also interact with the 7 and the 5. So like the
Yeah.
8s and 9s, I think are going to bet bigger. The 10s and jacks are going to really size down. And then your queens and kings are going to size up and your aces might even check here.
Okay, so I'm gonna bet big for one other reason also, which I don't know if this applies to the solver, but it applies to the population, I think, which is I don't want to be defended against a check raise, even when it's a bluff here. It's just not gonna be any fun to go on, so I would like to disincentivize check raises. And
Which
I'd
is
like
totally
to get
fine.
cleaner information.
Yeah, and either betting big or checking both do that.
Right, and it's wrong. Just bet small and play poker better on the turn.
Yeah, but none of the choices are actually negative EV, right? Like even the bet big, which
Nope.
just isn't there.
Nope. No, the bet big was 0.01% difference in EV.
Yeah, so
Just don't show.
Yeah.
Yep.
right? And he just has the worst hand for that board, 9-10.
Mm.
Right? He has no defense with 9-10, no matter what our bet size is.
Yeah. He has a backdoor straight draw and 2 overs.
Yeah, you don't like that against the big bet.
No. From out of position versus a hand that could easily be made. Hey, let's check.
Yeah. This
Bets.
board texture is going to have a lot of check raises.
Yeah. Yeah, we can credibly rep. We have the 8 of hearts, so we're afraid of nothing.
Yeah, and
The
we
next
don't,
card-
and we have to protect him from having a, well, no, we don't have to protect him. He's got nothing. So I think we can check raise small here.
Yeah, if we check raise, it has to be small. The other reason to do it the other way is just the Jonathan Little argument of just the simple, let them keep bluffing. Don't get him to fold ace jack here, any of his garbage.
He opened that big? That's what you get.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the, I'm gonna go with that argument. We're gonna check call here unless we have a tiebreaker. I'm gonna go with the Jonathan Little argument of, let them keep bluffing. And the thing about that is I never know the difference of when you let them keep bluffing and when you're supposed to raise your premium hands. I don't. But in this case, because we have the heart, I'm less afraid of giving hearts a free card, and it's the top set, not the bottom set, so I block a lot of his continuation range.
Yeah.
Tiebreaker, anybody?
Good.
Okay.
Give him a
You and
call.
me. Yep, we're giving it a call.
All right, we're two of
Great.
38 and
2
18,
38?
17 get a ticket.
All right. It's a ticket for which one?
55, 300K.
Good luck. Knock them dead. Okay, great.
Second bullet, I fired a bullet the other day.
Okay, so we don't like the 7. So I think we're gonna check raise the turn.
20 for the money. I think I could fold my way in.
Mhm.
He doesn't have to have equity bluffs.
Yeah, so our reason for doing this was to keep him in, and so I don't think we change our mind now. When we check, I think we check this.
Yeah.
Okay. It was 100% check, it was there. And the worst possible card for our hand comes.
Yeah, let him bluff.
What?
So
Let
yeah,
it bluff?
you could bet 48 because he still has lots of raises. Right? Like the
Yeah.
solver is going to raise lots of stuff here.
Yeah,
And then
You
you
bet.
do get some. So yeah.
and,
you have
and
some
he'll,
bluffs.
and he'll call with a 10.
Yeah.
For 48.
Yeah, our goal is to have him bluff us pretty big here, right? So I think we can set him up
Yeah.
with either checking or betting small.
Okay, so given that, I want to do this, I'm gonna tailor this to what I believe population does. And I think population is much more likely to bluff a check than the small bet. Am I right? No, I'm not right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the other thing is population is going to check a 6 or a 7, and they're 100% calling a small bet with a 6 or a 7.
Yep, he bet the flop, he checked behind on the turn. When only the 8 was there. I think that we can devalue his 6s and 7s. I think that he bets a 6 and a 7 more on the turn. Because of my straight draws, 4, 5s. The 7 does bring in the straight.
Yeah. See, the problem is like he doesn't have hearts, right? Because he would probably barrel hearts.
Yeah,
So I think he's more likely to have a small value hand here, right?
okay,
Like he could have a 3. I don't know if a 3's calling. Pretty gross.
48, and we call the raise.
Yeah, that's the plan.
We get called by a 10, but the correct answer is bet big.
Right.
Overbet the pot and just say he doesn't have a 9 and dare him to call. And let's see, does he call with that 10
Oh,
against the overbet? Because if he doesn't, then that makes no sense at all.
yeah, I guess a set of 8s is really like we either have a 9 or we have a second set of 8s is kind of the second nut. We could have the ignorant end of the straight, but
Yeah.
like it's still a big value bet.
Yes. Okay,
Right?
so on this river, instead of, we bet 48, and this is what his calls look like.
Strategy.
He calls us with a king 10 all
He's
the
calling.
time.
Calling us with some threes.
Calls us with a set of threes. A set of, no, he raises a set of threes and a set of sixes, and we call it off miserably.
No, he
Um,
calls us with like ace 3 and 5, right? Like he's calling all kinds of stuff with our tiny bet.
Yeah, we get that, we get those calls. Now, if we instead do what he said, which was, let's say, he said bet bigger. Let's see what calls the bigger bet.
Now I could definitely fold it. I should be first.
Woo!
Dude just
What's your,
massively, dude just
what's your
massively,
chip stat?
dude just massively punted off into me. I got 460, I got 65 bigs,
And how many people have to go out?
15 to a ticket.
Gotcha. So you're not gonna bully the table. You're just gonna sit there.
Yeah, I think that's all I need to do.
Okay.
Goody.
It's fundable. It's certainly fun to bully the table. All right, looking at this. He bets, when we do this, we get raised by all his nines. We still get called by the king 10 at that size.
We still get called by all the tens. Like he's still calling with tens.
Still calling
they're all
ace 3.
I am first. Yeah, nice.
He's still calling ace 3.
Oh, I'm first by a mile.
Yeah, ace 6 and all the eights. Right? He's calling
Yeah,
king 8.
so we were,
eight.
yeah, so he's calling 6-4. Yeah, no, it's just better. It's just more money. If you play like, if your opponent plays like the solver.
Yeah.
What does he
But-
bluff?
He has his king 10 as his bluff.
King 10, that's a very little bluff. Oh no, ace queen bluffs a little bit.
Yeah. He still has pocket queens that stuff, right? As a bluff.
Is that a bluff?
Yeah, because somehow they've gotten there. Right? He only bluffs when he's blocking the heart and the spade. With pocket queens.
Pocket queens folds to our bet. Yeah. Aces calls. Queens fold. What's that about? Is that because sometimes we have kings and play it this way?
Yeah.
What's kings doing then? I guess queen has some weird interaction blocker that kings do. It's gotta be a blocker driven because kings and queens are the same hand here.
Kings, queens, and aces are all the same hand here, right? But like he's calling
Yeah.
ace 3, but he's folding pocket queens,
Yeah,
right? So
I'm not gonna try to understand that.
when we're bluffing with king high and queen high.
So we need to have, he wants there to be king high and queen high out there.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he'd rather call with ace 3 than call with pocket kings. Right? Because our hand is like when we take that huge bet size, our hand is very polarized. We're not doing that with a 7 or an 8 or a 6.
Yeah, I am going to do a screen grab of this and show this to limit players and watch them freak the fuck out. And that's when we should put up what our bet size is here. Let me do it that way. On the river, does it show what we bet? Yes, it says we
Yeah,
bet 240.
240.
Okay, good. 240. There we go. And was that already on the screen? I think it was. Yep. Okay, good. Moving on. That fascinates me. Folding kings and queens
And calling a 3,
There.
bottom pair.
and calling ace 3.
Because
calling-
blockers are relevant.
Blockers are so relevant. Calling ace 3, calling 10-6. But really it's ace 3. Ace 3 is the one that you really want to show because ace 3 does it at full frequency.
10-6 is 2 pair. But yeah, ace 3 is the bottom of the calling range.
Oh, 10-6 is 2 pair. You're right. You're right. 10-6.
I mean,
is
he's
2
also
pair.
calling with king 8, right? Oh, but weird.
Yeah.
He's calling with king 8, but folding king 6.
I'll bully near the bubble, Scott, if I still have heaps.
This is insane. And mixing
what-
with
what did you-
kings.
What did you say, Ken?
I said I'll start bullying near the bubble if I still have heaps.
Right. Just because it's really fun.
Some
when
people are
people
just
can't play
jerks,
single
Mr.
hand. Yeah. But you don't need to. I mean, it gets you nothing, right? It's pure tickets, right? There's no reason to come in.
Takes
first.
time. Possibly. If I could take a
You're
couple
gonna
people
be-
out,
what-
like
what-
right
what
now,
else-
I'm not at all.
What else are you gonna do with your time?
I got like way more chips than anybody else, really. I
Yeah.
got
You're in.
100,000 more than anyone else.
Good job.
And
That's-
the blinds are what? I don't even know what the blinds are.
I wanted to just say, first of all, what a sick fucking run out. And second of all, the only way we get this money is if we play it this way. That's the only way if we play it any different way, we get nothing. Maybe he calls our turn bet with the inside straight, with the straight draw.
Check raising the flop, he probably folds.
He folds to the check raise on the flop. On
Yeah.
the turn, it went check, check. If we bet the turn, I think he can fold.
Yes. He has nothing.
He has a straight draw and two overs. And that shouldn't be, and that's, straight draw and two overs is enough to call a small flop bet, but it shouldn't be, it's not enough to call a small turn bet. I'm saying that's a question.
Yeah, I
asking.
think so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like he's not drawing to the nuts. Oh, I guess he has a 9 for the nuts.
Nuts-ish. It's not the 10
Maybe.
jack, but it's still good.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Right?
Yeah,
It's
I
not,
think that. Yeah, the learning to call 1/3 flop bets with the kind of garbage that we're supposed to call it with is what I learned from you guys, and that's only a couple of months old. And I think that I've been making the mistake of doing that on the turn also.
What's that?
So just to generalize, I mean, I'll be specific. You're in the big blind, you're raised by the button. When the flop comes, if you've got a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush draw, and he bets a third of the pot, you are not folding. If you've got a
No, you
backdoor.
can often raise versus the button just because they're gonna see,
Yeah.
but they're gonna range bet so often and their range is so
Sure.
wide that it's hard for them
Yeah.
to defend well.
Yeah, against, if you're there against the hijack, maybe you're not check raising him, but you're not folding yet.
Right?
yeah,
right?
you can float.
In the old days, I was folding that 100% of the time. I'm going, I don't even have a draw. What am I doing here?
Right,
And so that's what I learned from you guys.
yeah.
I think the mistake that I've been making is thinking about the turn the same way. I'm starting to get the idea that on the turn, we do a lot more folding of that same stuff. For that
Check
same
with,
size bet.
you gotta have, it's the odds driven at that point. It's just a math problem, I think, right?
Yeah.
On the turn.
Yeah, on the turn, it's gotta be real.
And that's where like limit hold'em, getting there in the back door is not really a thing.
No,
right?
no. that's-
It's front door flushes that never fold, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't shove for 4x the pot on the river. So
Yes.
yeah.
Can't get it back.
it's all
So
about
look at
getting
that.
1 or 2 bets.
So look at that. He donked. Let's
Yeah.
call the donk. I don't see it. There's no reason to raise and no reason to fold. 100%
Yeah.
call this donk. All right, he's got a little bit of raising.
Yeah, no,
That's nothing. He donks small again. I don't think we fold yet. Plus we have the 7. We're not folding.
yeah, his bluffs are going to be equity driven, and the equity didn't really change there. So yeah, marginal made hand here.
Right? I don't think we bet this. He could check an 8 here. He could check a better 6 here, and I don't think we try to bluff him off either one. Yep. Check, check.
Take it
That's how you
down.
attack. 100, yeah. Some hands are easier than others.
Yeah, so he bets because the range is good there, or that flop is good for him. He bets the
He
turn
also
'cause
has-
it's
he
not a
also has-
scary card.
I mean, the turn bring gives him an open-ended straight, one to the ignorant end, the other one to the good end. Plus, it's not an overcard. So he's, denying equity to every hand that we have that has 2 cards bigger than a 7.
And he doesn't mind us getting a good price to keep our flush in because he's already got a pair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yep, that's fine. But
Ooh,
well played by both of us.
this one's gonna be a little spicy sometimes.
Oh, we didn't get to. We didn't
Yeah.
get to check raise. We
And
were
now
so
it's
check raising that.
now it's a
too
give up.
late.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's so disappointing.
too bad. That one could have been a good spicy one.
Yeah. No, he has us betting.
On a king? Oh,
Yep.
he has us betting massively.
Yeah, on the check raise, it's like it didn't work. Go for it. Well,
Yeah.
in that case, let's check raise now. I'm not kidding. I don't know if we should do it in game, but if the solver wanted us to bet that often, it wants us to check raise when we check.
Yeah. To be honest, I am never making this, but let's let it rip. And it
Me
was
either.
big. So
So it's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Yes.
and now we made a marginal made hand, but we're in an awkward spot.
We're screwed. It's so weird. I think we have to bluff our 5 if we're gonna go.
Well,
Because, and the reason, well, are you gonna call his bet? Are you gonna bluff catch with a 5? If not, because he has to bluff everything that missed now when we check.
yeah. So here's the thing. If we bluff our 5, I don't think he's folding a king.
No, no.
Like, I don't like if we bluff, I don't know that we're getting a lot that we're beating to fold.
No, this is the weird thing. We're not. But what we're doing is we're preventing him from bluffing us off the 5. We're block betting the 5 is what we're doing.
I think against the population that works. I don't think the solver's gonna do. I don't
No,
think that's gonna
solver's
affect the
good.
solver, right?
Right.
Solver's
So-
slippery.
Yeah, so against population, we bet 200 here. We bet 200, we bet 180 here. Looking like we're trying to milk with our 3s, and he folds his 2 hearts. The solver will raise his 2 hearts.
Yeah. So I think because we
And if we
don't.
check, right, and if we check, the guy was gonna bet his 2 hearts, he was gonna bet 500 with his 2 hearts, and we were gonna be in a world of hurt.
Because we don't have any hearts, I think we could check call because we've kept his heart bluffs in.
You've convinced me.
Yeah, 100% check.
Yep,
Sweet.
there we go. Now, could we check raise him off a 7? I mean, not check raise, could we have bet him off a 7 when we check raise the turn? I think so.
We check raise the turn. He
Not to-
called, right?
No, not to check it. We check raise the turn and we bet the river. If we bet the river big, if we turn our 5 into a bluff, I think maybe it gets through.
Maybe, but like the problem too, in this specific line, like when we check raise the flop, he's actually probably going to 3-bet us because that happened before with a7,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
everything's wrong. But on
Yeah.
the turn, our turn, this is a really good card for us, we were trying to check raise the 3, or we hit the king, or we have nothing. He has the ace of hearts, so he blocks our hearts. So I think, no, let's see this. I think we can bluff him. I think when we don't check the river, it won't give us an answer because it's checking 100%. So if we do it, the way it responds will be meaningless because we never do it.
one more, and then I think I got to go get the kids from school. So
Okay, last hand.
last time for me, at least.
I think,
Thanks for
well,
doing
it's-
this, Scott.
It's probably the last hand because I think you and I are the only ones who are being active.
I'm here, but I'm not
Also-
really, yeah, I'm kind of listening.
yeah, Ken's not here.
Independent.
Saeed, are you still, well, I'll check. We'll play this hand and then if anybody else
I'm
wants to.
enjoying.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, you're gonna have to turn your mic on then. You're gonna have to participate, Said.
All right.
You have to be wrong with me.
Oh,
right, here we
it's
go.
so gross.
The last hand, you mean?
Yeah, this is terrible. This is this is one of our best king highs, right? A bunch of our
Yeah,
ace highs are
we're
going
gonna
to
check-
check. I think
We're
we
gonna
can
check
range.
this down and get king by king
I'll
jack.
bet 30 here.
Alright, Saeed says bet 30. I'm gonna check this hand. I think this hand is marginal enough, is big enough to check. So it's gonna mix.
We
Alright,
don't have,
bet
yeah, we don't
30
have
and
any,
check.
we don't have any backdoor flush equity, so
Yeah. Alright, so I'm shutting down now. I didn't get more equity. How about you, Saeed? Bet or
Yeah.
check?
Check.
Which one? Shut down, alright. Check. Yep, and now it mixes. That's interesting. We're not wrong, but when it bets, it goes, let's take it.
yeah, because we want to represent that we improved our equity with the diamonds, or that we have a big hand,
Or
right?
that
We
we
might have
started,
turned a
that we
9.
started good. Yeah, exactly. Or we're trying to protect against the diamonds. All those are right. Yep. And now we fold.
Yeah, we have better hands to call. We have ace highs. We have
Yeah.
small pair.
We can, if we're gonna bluff catch, let's at least have an ace high.
Right.
There we go.
That one was quick. One more.
All right.
I'm addicted to
Yeah,
cash.
your kids are fine. They'll be fine. They have their friends to hang out with.
It's only minus 37 out. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Really that cold? Are you way up north?
Yeah, Winnipeg. Yeah, it was that cold this morning. It's probably like minus 19 now. It's probably fine.
All right. Another one of these. Check.
King 10
That's
from the other
30.
side of the aisle.
Yep, exactly. We have no hearts. I think we lose this one. I'm folding.
is-
Anybody else? I'm gonna
Yeah,
bet
I
that
think
it
fold.
does. I'm gonna bet that it calls less than, that it calls more than 20% of the time and less than 50. Between 20 and 50, and I'm folding.
Taking the
Nope.
under.
Never, never. Because he's bluffing with equity there. And we're calling, and we're ahead of him with no equity. Continue. All right, we know what Louis does, so we do it.
Yeah. An ace, that's an automatic.
Yep.
See you next week, guys.
Take it easy, Pete.
Up here.
Good luck early game.
All right. I see, after a check there. Let's see, do we have any, we don't have anything to bet with except for Moxie. And he is probably making it. I think, yeah, I think against I think this is a give up against the solver and against population. I think we can bet. I think we can justify a bet of 60 here. What do you want to do, Said?
I'm thinking,
Okay.
I think I would check.
Yep,
I
I'm with
know.
you. No, never. We have to win this
Oh.
hand. We have to
Wow.
go out and win this damn hand. Okay. So now,
My
since
bad.
we did
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
since we did that, let's win the hand now. All right, we wanted to bet 80 before, let's bet 80 now. Maybe we bet 150. Bet 80. Nope.
Mm.
That's small. Small should be enough on this board. All right, we burned chips.
Why are we betting on the turn? I'm curious.
Why are we? Because he checked the flop and the deuce didn't improve him. And because we put
Right.
hands like, we make hands like
But
ace 10 uncomfortable.
My question is, did those improve us?
No, but we have check raises that we didn't get to do.
Right.
So it's driven not by it improving us so much. I mean, we have more deuces in our range than he does. Probably,
Right.
maybe not. Neither of us have many deuces. What suited deuces do we have? We call with all the suited aces. So ace deuce, king deuce, queen deuce. Raises ace deuce, king deuce, queen three. This is suited. He doesn't have ace deuce offsuit, neither do we. So, yeah. Yeah, so the deuce isn't really better for our range, but it's just that we have check raises that weren't realized and he doesn't. He has no bets that were. The same stupid 6-5-5 flop. Let's see. Offsuit, we raise ace five offsuit. He does not defend king five offsuit. So we can bet this.
I guess.
I think it's gonna mix checking and betting. More bets than checks. Yay.
Yeah, yay.
Okay. Now. Now I'm giving up now. Probably a hole in my game.
I don't know. Sometimes I think it's good to bet like 75% pot.
Okay, let's do it. We don't have let's do it.
Yeah, that one is like more. If I
He's
in-
supposed to
in
raise those
live,
fives, so I'm not
I'm
too
like-
worried about it.
I'm
Okay.
like 110, 105. I would raise that much.
All right, great.
I think we bet
Perfect. So
small.
we got-
I honestly think we bet small.
Okay, so I'm checking. Ken is betting small, Said's betting big, Said wins.
I think
this
we
one.
always bet the queen, king and ace is very good for us. He didn't raise flop. He's supposed to raise all his fives, all his sixes, all his bluffs, like. So the queen's really good for us. It's one of,
Yeah.
like ace is the best, king, then queen, right? So.
So here's one reason, here's the reason why I think Ken's 48 is better than the 128, which is what does a 128 fold out that a 48 doesn't? What continues against 48, not 128? I continues after that queen comes. You think a six folds in either case? So I'm gonna move on. I'm
Like
gonna
he
move
doesn't
on to-
have any aces that are wrap around the 6 and the 5. Like he doesn't have ace 3, ace 4, ace 7. He doesn't have like backdoor aces with spades, hearts, diamonds. So he's really lacking.
He
a
can
lot
have,
of
no,
stuff.
he can have ace six.
He's gonna
and-
raise ace 6. He's gonna raise ace 6.
Oh, right. Yeah, he raises ace six on the flop. He check
Yeah.
raises it. Yeah, you're right. Doesn't have it
So,
anymore.
like and then he doesn't have the top of his range with ace. He might have, does he? I don't know, Cash. Does he have any ace queen? Probably not.
No, he's three bet ace queen.
So does he have, he doesn't have ace king, he doesn't have ace queen, he doesn't have, does he have ace jack?
Yeah.
Probably not.
He's got,
So-
and those have to fold now to the queen. I mean, I think
Not
it's
like
folded.
his bad kings aren't floating. A lot of them
Yeah.
are gonna raise his flop as well. I just think it's a really good card to bet.
Yeah, so, okay, so we're gonna bet, and the argument is that we just don't fold out enough more with 128 for the risk.
Well,
Let's
that's
see
what
what
I'm-
the solver says. Yep, you're both right. Both
It
are
bets-
right.
It bets bigger more.
Yeah, bigger is better, but never
I
check.
win.
Just don't give up. You win. You win, but we're here now in this and triple barreling. The jack of hearts in our hand is terrible for us to triple barrel. And do you see why, Said?
Right.
Right. Whereas if this was the 7 of hearts and we were gonna bluff and if this was the 10 of hearts. So we had a hand that could win, we really want to have the jack of hearts in our hand.
Mhm.
Because we want to block flushes when they come in, and we want to unblock them when they don't. So with that in mind, I think we shouldn't bluff this card. I think we should give up. Anybody bluffing?
Uh, because of the big raise, I don't know. I'm thinking of bluffing here.
Okay,
I
We
don't
got
know.
one
I
on
don't.
team,
I,
but we
I
got
don't
one-
have. I don't have a dog.
Right.
Let me.
we've got one on team bluff. Ken, what are you on?
I think he's got, I don't think the 7 honestly helps him much, so. Like, we either lose our shit or give up. I think he's gonna have a queen a lot.
I
But,
think I'm-
we might
yeah,
lose our
check.
shit. I don't know, like, like I said, it gets crazy, in position. With
Right,
the
we need to get a
bluffs.
6. I don't think we need to get a queen to fold. We need to get a 6 to fold.
Yeah, I think checking maybe.
I don't think he
know.
has many sixes. I think he's supposed to raise most of them on the flop. Like, I think he raises all his 5s, most of his 6s, all the stuff that wraps around the 5 and the 6s, the backdoor flop. Like, I just think. Right, like they have so many bluffs on the flop. His range is so, when you look into Pio, when
But he
you
didn't
open
bluff,
that
hold
up,
on, but
when you
Ken-
open that up,
Ken-
it's gonna have like a 1 line straight up, like on 6s and 5s. Straight across with 6s and 5s, and then like some, the bluffs on the
Ken,
flop.
remember,
So then,
he didn't check raise us, Ken.
no, he did.
he
That's what I'm
didn't- he never
saying. His
bluffed.
range, so his range is like hardly anything. Like he has hardly any cards left in his range, which is crazy.
Okay.
And I
Right,
don't know what
so-
those cards are, to be honest. It'd be cool to look
Yep.
at.
We're gonna look at it once we decide what we do here. I'm on team give up because of the jack of hearts.
Like,
Saeed was on team bet, but may have changed his mind.
I think he's got like 2s, 3s, maybe not even that. Like he's got like maybe pocket 2s. He's got like some king high.
You can have
Then we need to get-
I think we bluff.
7-8. You can have 7-8.
Okay, so let's
I don't
bluff. If we bluff,
I don't
we
think he
better
has
bluff.
7-8.
We better bluff, if we bluff it, I think we need to bluff 205.
I'm not okay. Yeah.
All right. I'm on team give up. Okay, of you bluff guys, what size are we bluffing?
I don't know what to do, but I don't hate a bluff.
All right, well, then let's at least not bluff small. 205, it's bluff huge.
So yeah, like I thought he would have under pairs. Like when we look at his range,
Yeah,
he's gonna
yeah,
have
yeah.
some like,
You nailed it.
he's gonna have some high card clubs, probably, not many, 2s and 3s. And queens, like that made a pair. Probably as well as like clubs,
Yep.
queen of clubs, probably.
You guys nailed it. Didn't work.
It didn't work, but I that's what I
but
was
Nailed it.
feeling also. Like
okay.
we could bluff.
All right.
So click square proportional to 8 and just like all, like
that's what I'm gonna do.
all these boxes get, like he ain't got
Right,
shit.
but this is, right, this is after we bet, we're gonna bet the 205 that we bet. And now we do square proportional to weight. And this is his response. Oh, he's got
So,
lots of 3s and 4s. They stayed in.
yeah, I'm surprised he has so many 6s, to be honest. Now
Pockets of
click
6s.
that square proportional size again. They're gonna probably be super slender. Oh no, that was so yeah, I'm surprised he has so many 6s, to be honest. I don't
Yeah,
think
check called 6s.
I don't think in tournaments he has this many 6s.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them raise right off the bat, like 8-6 is like, I've got to
Ace-6
redraw to a
is-
straight.
He stayed in with his ace-6 there.
Yeah, I think that raises a lot in tournaments. Like, I think it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
So he
We're
does
getting
have a
his-
bit more than I thought. So the bluff's even better. Like
Yeah.
he's got more marginal stuff than I thought, honestly. Like,
Now let's bluff bigger. Let's bluff the size let's bluff this size.
I got my
And
10
now-
first.
Look at the difference. Now all the under pairs, if we do the bigger size, the bluff works against everything we need it to.
Yeah.
Nothing works against a queen. But the bluff works against 8s. Which is amazing. All right. But the size that we used was legal. And the size we use, who folds to the size we use? What folds do we get? We get mixed folds. He just rolled a big number. Okay. You guys want to stop at like 1 o'clock?
I'm done, I think.
Okay,
I'm starving. I gotta actually go to the store and buy food, I
All right.
think. I don't know what I'm gonna eat.
okay. Yeah, I haven't had lunch yet either. Okay, second to last hand. Because I wanted to show, there's one thing I wanted to show you before we go. It was, I gotta look up what it is. Okay.
Two
So
more.
did you get your ticket?
I did. Finish first.
Great,
You got it.
congratulations, awesome.
Thank you.
Good job. All right.
Some dummy, I probably did what I shouldn't have did. I mean, I was easily in, even if I lost a hand, I would have had tons of chips. If I was small blind, a guy open from cutoff, put in like half his stack. He had like 6 bigs. He opened like 3x. I had ace queen, so I just like, the guy behind me's not gonna, it was like the bubble. So I
Yeah.
knew the big blind wasn't gonna call. He had like 15, I had like 35.
You
So
said I
like,
gotta
"No,
take
I'm
somebody.
just gonna rip on him. I rip and he calls with ace 10 and gets knocked out on the bubble. Like, what are you doing? That's the reason why I did it. I'm like, you shouldn't be opening this hand here, dude. You should just fold
Yeah,
whatever
you
you
should just-
have. I don't care
just
what
get-
it is.
You taught him, when I say you taught him a lesson, I don't mean like, oh, you taught that guy a lesson. I mean, you taught him a valuable lesson for the next time he plays. He
Maybe.
should thank you.
Maybe.
All right. All right, I think this is, since there are no flush draw check raises. Oh, no, we have suited stuff that could check raise. I think we just fold this then. Anybody want to fight for this pot?
Versus the button. Oh man, we are
Yeah.
supposed to check raise a lot though, but it looked like it doesn't check
We are,
raise as
but
much in cash.
But this doesn't look like my check raise hand.
No. But it's
Yeah.
got 2 overs to the board and the button C betting like a lot, but I guess we still fold. We're out of
It's got
position.
2 overs, it's got 2 overs to the board and it's got a backdoor straight draw, but I want more interaction than that. Because I remember I could
You know
have,
what? I think king
in my
high.
range, I've got spades, hearts and diamonds that could continue. I've got jack tens, you know,
I honestly don't think the
and-
solver's gonna fold this. I don't hate it, but we got like king highs like ahead of a lot of his betting range right now. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly folding.
mostly
But it
folding.
does defend
And when
some.
it defends it defends by raising more than by calling
Yeah.
significantly. And it calls a
Yeah,
little bit.
we got the best hand a lot, but it's just, it's still hard to realize. your
Best
equity.
hand, but yeah, but it's gonna be, but every card that we like, so does he.
Yeah, it's hard to realize your equity out of position. That's the problem, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. All right, that was great. I want to show you, let me show one thing. Let me see what it is here. Had one, oh, I only got to show, no, Vince isn't here. I gotta wait till Vince is here. All right. That was fun, you guys.
alrighty, I will see you all Monday. I guess
Really
good luck over the
cool.
weekend,
So I'm
everyone.
gonna turn off the recording.
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot.
I gotta go eat. I'll see you all later.
Right,
Thank you.
great to play with you.
You
See you on
too,
Monday.
thanks.